Today we are going to learn about UCS, various icons that you can see here. We are going to learn about all of these icons and how to set the UCS on a specific plane. Let's start by clicking on this point right here, which is home button. And then always remember to turn this option 3D modeling on. Let's make a rectangle and learn by example, which is, let's say I made a rectangle right here. Now let's have a look at these icons right here. Now let's do a press pull to make a solid body so that we can learn how to use UCS around this. So the first icon is this. This is a manual UCS where you can select the X, Y and Z axis both along with the origin. What does that mean? For example, as you can see here, the X and Y axis are in this plane. So whatever I'm going to draw is going to be drawn on this axis. What if I want to draw in vertical direction? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on this button now, and after clicking on this button, click on the origin point where you want the UCS to start. Let's say this is the point. Then select the X axis. As you can see here at the bottom, it says X axis. Select any point in the X axis that you want. Select any point in the Y axis, let's say this one. See, now the axis has changed. Now what we can do, whatever we are going to draw is going to be drawn in this axis now. So this is the first UCS option that you can use. Now if you want a line or shape in a specific angle, what we can do, we can click on this button right here. As you see, rotate around X, rotate around Y, or rotate around Z. For example, I selected X. See, the axis can be rotated just by using this. Now if I click on any plane, let's say for example I click right here. Now whatever I'm going to draw now, it's going to be drawn in that specific XY plane. So this is for if you want to draw something at a specific angle, or is like a roof for example, this UCS can be used in that sense. Press Ctrl Z for now, but these are three options if you want to rotate around Y, rotate around X or Z. Now another option that I find very useful is in here. So see, it has three options. The first one is for aligning XY to a user coordinate. For example, the XY is here, but I want to draw something on top. So I can click right here on top, as in back, and see X and Z are here. If I click on this button, it will switch it to X and Y. Now I can draw anything on this plane that I want, because this is a quick way to change our axis. So for example, I want to draw something on this face towards the back. Yeah, so I'll rotate towards the back. Let's say this is the plane that I want to draw on, and then I'm simply going to click on this button and the axis will change according to where I am in the design, and I can draw in this plane directly. So that's another option. The next option, as you can see here, is object. Now this only requires a plane. For example, I click in here, I can click on any plane. For example, this, as you can see here, the axis is changing. Yeah, so XY in this plane, see, XY has changed to vertical plane, XY has changed to vertical plane again, it's horizontal again. So whichever line we click on, whatever the direction of that line is, it will switch to that plane. Now the last and the most important one is this last option, which is face. If I want to draw something on a specific face, I just need to click this and click on the face that I want to draw in. For example, this one. So the axis changed automatically, as you can see here. Same here, if I want to draw something on that face, I just need to click on this face and my axis will automatically change to that place. So this option is very, very useful when you want to draw on a specific face. Now since I have turned that on, now whatever I am going to draw, that will switch the face automatically. As you can see here, whatever I am going to draw, that will switch the face automatically. So I don't need to change the axis again and again, because I have selected this option. As you can see, wherever I'm going to draw, that face will be selected automatically. So this gets us to make doors and windows. This allows us to make doors and windows very quickly. So remember this option, yeah, this last one is your face option. It selects the face automatically where you want to draw rather than changing the axis again and again. If you want a bespoke or a specific angle or a axis, you can click on XYZ here. Now the top option is sometimes this UCS will disappear. No matter what you do, you can't see the UCS. So in that case, you click in here and you click in show UCS. So see, there is an option called hide UCS. Sometimes it automatically turns on. As you can see, there is no UCS. Now click on this button and you can show UCS as well. This is the overall of this is mostly the UCS options that you would need. If you want to change something in the UCS, you can click on this button, which is the UCS property. By this, you can create how you want your UCS to look. For example, if you click on 2D, that is showing only X and Y, and this is in west direction, you have the Z axis. So it's convenient to put it 3D. This is the size of the UCS. This is the color. If you want to change the color of the UCS, you can click in here and click OK. So these are the options, and this is the previous UCS. As in, for example, if I click on, let's say I selected the UCS to be on this point, X and Y. Now I want my UCS to go on the previous location again. I just have to click on this one and it will go back to the previous UCS. As you can see at the bottom, the UCS keeps on changing. So these are the options that you can use to work around in your 3D drawing. Thank you for listening to me so far, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.